Hi everybody. Sorry, it's only this way that I can introduce you to this collection of which I feel very, very proud. It's a collection that we have put together with passion, and I hope you will join us through this trip.
Hello everyone. So strange this time. You are not here, we are so far, but this is how it is. So we would really like to forget about the bad things that have happened this year, to focus on the positive things that luckily are still happening. And they are happening also thanks to what you have done with us and for us. It's really surprising and positively surprising, the fact that as of now, 2020, from a business standpoint, has been better than 2019. And frankly, back in March, we couldn't expect that. So we are grateful for your endeavor. Many of you have had an incredible growth. Maybe others less fortunate, depending on the areas, the regions, and the severeness of the crisis, of economic crisis and sanitary crisis. But again, let's consider the positive part. We are all together now, even digitally and from the distance. But we are going to show you real things. We are going to show you, as usual, our dream to start in a better way the new year, which is about to come. Some important things have happened also to the company. As you all know, this year TNG Investor has, let's say, has granted the activities to Missoni. So Missoni SPA is now 100% owner of the activities of TNG Investor and therefore of all the people working here, which is basically the same as always. The other part of the story is that Missoni themselves, they are being participated by an investment fund which is focused on the growth of the business. So you, as our commercial partners, hopefully you will have further advantages out of this new setup of the company. Of course, the focus is to keep the values, is to keep momentum. Again, we are on a positive cutting edge right now, and we forecast that 2021 could be even better. We will have time to comment some more specific points concerning the business. One is that we will not have fairs at least in the first part of 2021. We will not have Maison Objet as usual. Salone del Mobile has been postponed probably to September 2021, but we are anyhow supporting you with every mean possible, so with digital tools, with sampling, with our presence, not physical right now, but as soon as possible, we would like really again to be in touch with you. So it's all for the time being. I will pass over the word to Wanda and Paola, who's been behind the collection as always, and they will have many things to tell you and many things to show you. So thank you again for being with us and for supporting us, and good luck.
Hello everybody, ciao a tutti. It's very pity we don't see you in person, but anyway, next time cross our fingers. But we did our best to do this collection, and with Rosita, me, Wanda, and all the team.
Ciao a tutti ragazzi, as Paola said, it's really very sad not to have you here. We were trying to think if it would have been possible to go out with a new collection, but we saw how much the homes and decoration is becoming important for people. And it's important for us and it's important for you. So we have to go on giving to people dreams, giving to people possibility to be joyful, to be enjoying their homes, to be feeling emotional in a positive way. We've been toughly surrounded by sadness and about things that we do not actually understand, gravity, how much, how deep. And so what we know we can inject, it's hope, it's passion, it's good mood, and it's enthusiasm. And this is
Color
what, as
and
always,
happiness.
yes, this is what drove us, building up all of what you have seen in the film, and you will see now in details through the telling of the collection.
Jump aside. Black cat sneaking through the forest. A vulture circles the sky. Black cat creeping through the forest. Hey there, bumpy toe, jump aside. Black cat sneaking through the forest. A vulture circles the sky. She crawls by the spiders, hides from the bats. The coyote won't find her 'cause she's dressed in black like that. And when the full moon rises to beam a dreamy glow, she goes to sleep so she can sneak and prowl and creep tomorrow. Black cat lurking in the forest, barely making a sound. Black cat prowling in the forest, She goes to sleep so she can sneak and prowl and creep tomorrow. Black cat, black cat, black cat.
Okay, this year we thought to tell our dream through the four elements in nature. So the telling of the story, I mean the tale we will tell, it's about air, water, earth and fire. We decided to marry the actual theme of our year collection with these elements because they are the very down to earth, the very minimal things in life, the security, cannot say security, the sure things that we have. Air, it's something we need to breathe, it's life. Water, it's fresh, it's transparent, and this is what we need. Earth, it's what we stand on, and fire, it's the passion that leads us. And this is where we want to lead you in 2021. Air you breathe, air to move, air to spray, air to spray life and to spray colors on objects.
Yes.
This wonderful new collection of mist, which we decided to dive into the more brilliant and beautiful colors of the
Like
Missoni
a kind
palette.
of watercolor on the hood directly.
Yes. So we decided to give this air spray on this beautiful engineered wooden version of our Miss chair. You see it in the six different palettes, while the table itself it's in one, charcoal mainly, and they stand in this wonderful carpet of sliding stripes on the back. This story is story of very fresh watercolor colors palette, and we named the story Garden Light, as it is embracing palettes that belongs to the inside and the outside. Here we want to let you have the impression that a situation just changing small bits might change completely. This is where you get the hints of the reds, corals and brick rust.
Our iconic little zigzag mix play really well with the big one, and a kind of a mix with the shadows, flame, and watercolor again.
Yeah, and this is where we start from one color palette where we give hints to the brilliancy of the accent colors, as you see on the carpet and on the armchair and on the throw. While here we just want to show that just changing small bits, like changing the carpet and changing the vases and changing the outdoor armchair, it all becomes more smooth. This is a couple of very iconic signs. So we will move to the next picture where we will see also the screen. Our new screen, we're developing a new shape of screen, and again from the armchair to the small sofa, and the new texture of the same design, it's moving to the throws cushion. Here we go to the throw itself.
Three-dimensional, beautiful played.
Yes, we
so intricate and elegant.
Yeah, we are trying to magnify the effects that were very subtle in the furnishing fabrics. Here in the throw, instead, they become like a tricot, very texturized, three-dimensional realization. The flame things from very macro becomes very micro on this tubular knit cover for our lamps. They used to be just upholstered with normal fabric, and we instead decided to have this knitted version
in drums
for our drum collection. Here is Punta Spiloni again on this new version of zigzag, where we want to show how the zigzag, it's intricate in its realization, where small stripes just give rhythm to the change of colors. We decided to bring back Ribera and Recife, Paola, because we feel that this...
It's the same feeling, really watercolor aspect, so light and fresh and delicate, and we thought to
bring it back.
Yeah,
bring
absolutely.
It back. The same idea goes to the bed linen also, because we want to perform the flame as a faux uni, as a fake solid color, and in the chevron multicolor. You'll see this new version of Miss Chair, upholstered one, the Miss Table in wood, and a new cover for our mirror in your right side. This is a close-up of this fantastic bed linen chevron, which we enlarge and realize in this hand-tufted bath mat. And the same color palette, it's taking life into this new towel collection.
And again, the flame.
The flame and the small zigzag, they just play together to have this iconic image. Yeah. Here you see it. It's very interesting. This new collection performs a new solid group of towels. We realized it in 4 color combinations. The blue, the green, a natural color, and a coral, because we feel that they belong to this freshness of the watercolor palette of this story. Here you see them all together.
Beautiful shadows.
Moving onto the towel in this tiny chevron that animates the vertical stripes. We have the new flower, which is, I always forget the name of this flower carpet, which name is Arita. And we have a new chevron, which is very nice, where we have the rhythm of these beautiful colors, which are interrupted by black and white.
But it's not a real black and white, because this time,
new story, we had to face the fact that Rosita prefers growing in her professional life. Blacks are no more blacks and whites are no more whites. They're all naturally shading into grays, into browns, into anthracite.
Off-white, just in gentle and delicate way.
So here we go back to our iconic chevron, which from the grandma where it was before moves to our beautiful sofa. And the idea of these melting colors, it's now taking her new life on this wonderful project we are performing this time. In this resin surface.
It's managed like a real piece of art.
And we're calling them art glass. Group of tables. here you see one of the picture that shows and performs how the colors melt together. And the same coral colors, it's the fourth color of this solid, very nice, iconic new terry collection. It's a quite interesting result because it stands on a result of a yarn dyed, over dyed jacquard.
So precious.
So precious, yes, absolutely. And we decided to give you a new colorway for Rufus, which has been performing very well last year. And we then decided to bring it back with a new, fresher and warmer, how can we say, color palette.
Color
in
palette,
the reds.
a new variante.
Yeah. This again goes in the mood of watercoloring. And we decided to perform this ramage in a placed version where this ramage just moved to nothing on white. And then in an all over version, which is going to be the reverse side of the duvet cover. And it's going to be the pillowcase design. The wallpaper is performing the same ramage, but on a tone-on-tone version, very delicate and very chic. What we still perform here, as in the terries, it's this flame tone-on-tone version of over-printed solid color coral sheets. From the bed sheets and bed linen through the curtains and sheers, the same ramage
But
go
in
performing.
microwaves leaves, sorry.
In
Macro
leaves, they become macro. They just get giant. They got giant. And the same design going little goes into the outdoor story. Mm-hmm. So we've got this wonderful outdoor canvas, thick canvas, that has a hand, very natural hand. It looks like a linen, cotton linen, and it's quite interesting, the results, as it really looks like if it's hand painted itself. And we decided to make it even thinner, even smaller, on this wonderful light beach towels. And the same flame version we had in the inside in jacquard.
We decided outdoor version.
To do it in an outdoor version on a printed way. We also realized a very nice small mattress, foldable mattress, that becomes a bag. Which can hold some of your solar creams, a book, and anything you might need in this outside pocket. The same design, it's giving life to the tableware. Yeah. Because we start performing from this collection on.
Very nice project.
Very nice projects in tableware. And we start giving you the first bites into the textile part. So we are performing table runner, placemats, and napkins. The outdoor carpeting are here in a shaded version with
and
the
play
cushions.
Really well with a beautiful stuoia, outdoor.
Yes, this outdoor carpet.
Yeah.
And the same design has been performed in this jacquard, very light version of this flame linen beach towel. Here, the two beds, two Jalamar bed, outdoor bed, are the front part, but that just leads us towards the new interpretation of nap. This very interesting rhythm and interesting
beautiful fabric
texture. It's a very texturized interesting fabric it really looks like a thick canvas.
A macro drill.
Macro drill somewhere, and you've got this 3D stripes that stands out from the macro drill in the background. And we decided to bring in back Tonga, which is, on the contrary, performing these very smooth shades. The same shades that we are putting in this outdoor fabric, outdoor carpet. And
play really well with the touch of no black again, but
charcoal.
Exactly, anthracite.
Charcoal. Yeah.
And smooth the color.
Yeah, very, very, very smooth. And here we are going from the chevron that we had in the bathroom on the carpets, the bath mats, and on the bed linen. We go to the beach towels, the version of the beach towels, and we show you first a realization of instead this very nice outdoor fabric, which we realized into an outdoor fabric, but which is belonging to an indoor-outdoor use.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice and fresh in outdoor and also indoor. Why not?
Yes, yes. So we decided to make this print into this very peculiar surface, which really looks natural. And the effect of this flame is in reality very, how can I say, natural. It really looks like straw. It's like a group of straw that stands in the background and just get tainted by this very natural rust, concrete, wheat, sky, yes, mainly and the natural black stone, like ardesia, for example.
Typical Italian.
Yes, typical Italian stone. Yeah. Water is the next element we want to perform, and it will allow us to move, telling you the story still about this flame outdoor fabric, that it's covering our new protagonist and new actors of our outdoor collection. The beanbag poofs and beanbag virgola
beanbag
version. Yes, with the bean,
really
like a
beanbag.
Yeah, it contains beans, so it's like a virgola beanbag and virgola poofs. Here you start having on the beds this new color, the old color of wonga. And the same wonga, it's on our deck chair in the background. Here the flame, as you see, are on the beanbag, virgola beanbag, and on Miss chairs. And in the background again, the two chairs in wonga. Here you can see
another bite
of our table fabric program, and this is a very nice iconic chevron where we decided to implement the thing with a very nice labeling and a knitted ribbon that it's allowing you to wrap them up once you've used them, and you might buy them by the couple, and you might buy the napkins by the six colors. So 6 different border colors on the same very neutral, nice background. We move out from the table again to the outdoor place where we see again the deck chair on wonga and the new colorway for our throw. this colorway is the very nice, more masculine and more neutral colorway in 2021, which performs all the colors of the sea. So you've got sands and the blues of the sky and the sea.
The water.
And the water. Here we are showing you a group of these patterns together with Rex in the group as a solid, and again the Arita mat. Here there is a group of very nice mixture of all the color of the flame without black. He's not in. And here is the icons that play together. So we've got the back rest of the headrest of the bed, which is the bed head, which is in the wall covering. Paola.
A wall covering is a very old fiammato, very old flame, Missoni flame, and reproduced
onto a wall covering.
A wall cover.
Yeah. So here we just wanted to perform in micro, macro, tonal, and in different textures, the flame story. So we've got the carpet. We've got the bed linen, we've got the furnishing fabric, and we've got the wall covering. We move to the towels, again with the flames, and we perform another shape of the same Arita carpet, because we've got 3 different colors, but in 3 different shapes of flower. Going back to this wonderful outdoor fabric, it shows you Adar in an outdoor version, which is a new item you will have to sell. Here, we've got the new outdoor carpet, which is performing. You've got a new throw, and you can see Miss Chair with the same upholstery fabric that you see in Adar in the 2 colorways. One is not black, because the version is never black. It's a charcoal moving with many tones of charcoal inside. And this straw color, very natural, looking like wheat. We have a new version also of Harry Glass, which is an outdoor version. So here Adar and Harry are meant to become outdoor in their finish and in their construction.
And we study a very nice, lovely new graphic,
which is a
sort of dégradé, zigzag,
moving, where in every single size of those 3 tables you've got a different segment of this chevron. We move to again a close-up of this Miss Chair in these 2 neutral, dark and light colors, and from the outside with this fabric we move inside, and from the chair we move to the stools. And here are our Mr. Tools.
In flame.
The same flame is on our lamps. And here we just move out from the picture, and we want to introduce you to the new theme, which is the night flower theme, where you've got this Chine flowers that it's moving from here to there in the fabric. So this Chine, it's going from our couch, Gravita, into our grandma chair. And here, grandma chair get in different dressing too. So the nice thing about this flower is that you might have it just on its own, but you might have it double face.
The beauty is
that you might have the double face version. So on the left-hand side, the grandma you see with this bayadere stripe, it's the reverse of the Chine flower. In the back, you'll see the same design in vertical on a very nice jacquard, and we'll see it afterwards.
In velvet.
In a jacquard velvet, yes. And on the right side, you see this very nice, very tiny flame in black, non-black, and white, non-white. No. That's a macro enlargement of this wonderful
new
carpets. And on your right hand, the Chine flowers. A close-up of the velvet that we were talking to you before, where you might really actually see that the black is not black. Same thing in the reverse side of the Chine fabric. The blowing big of the stripes become a throw, and the blowing big of the Chine flower becomes a carpet. You see the same Chine flower with the back stripe on the séparé on our screen. And the same stripe you see it again on grandma. Spool, cedar spool on your right side. Here the version of the cushion front and back with the stripe and the Chine flowers, and the play of the big and large stripes. A camouflage idea of wall coverings together with the furnishing fabrics, and a camouflage of a table mat, placemat, and the carpet. It's a game of enlarging and diminishing sizes for designs. Here, the palette that we had in the Chine moves into loose yarns that stands out like fil coupé on a non-black, non-white,
a gypsy version of
in a gypsy version on a furnishing fabric on the cushion, but also on the throw, on the bed cover and a throw. We like very much this idea of matching non-black and non-white with this hint of corals and corals, fresh other watercolors, like you can see here. On the background, you see also a new fabric, which is a fireproof fabric, which performs this very nice, very smooth, though iconic version of a moving chevron. And you see...
But so three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional, yes, because it's really exactly the Jacquard realization which is giving to this design a very good 3D. And you might see the throw and the cushions and the poof with this very nice idea of gypsy yarns standing out in fil coupé from the objects. Another very nice shot. And we move from there to the same idea of flame, but on a different color palette, which is on the floor with this very nice woolen carpet in a tone of the blues, light blues, the same that are in this very masculine, very nice color palette, which belongs to the natural sandy earth and with a hint of lilac to give it gentleness. Same color palette that we will have on the wall covering, which is a very interesting, iconic interpretation.
A touch of rust, gray, light gray, like a piece of stone.
It contains all those natural stony colors. And the bed sheets in these very natural colors are just the background to this beautiful new colorway for the embroidered cushion and throw.
Our Margot.
Margot, exactly. They all know it anyway. And here we are again seeing the same design we saw before of terry towels in velvet in the colorway which is more masculine, standing on our mirror, an enlargement of the same terry, which is also a beach towel, and the striped version of the same colorway beach towel. And we move from the outdoor to inside. And we just put
warm and
this coziness. And we just put the fire, because in reality this collection is a fire in this collection we have a lot of fire-resistant fabrics. Like the small chevron, it's absolutely one of those. The small chevron is part of the fireproof collection. Here we are performing iconics all together. So we've got flamed, we have got checks, we have got ratio, I mean display of misplaced chevron that gives the racial mood of a real
intricate
knit.
graphism.
Quite interesting. And you have got it double-sided. You can use it on the darker version or on the lighter one. And here we instead move out and we see the paravent encore with this new shaggy fabric, gypsy fabric. While here we go on the small, tiny, fireproof chevron, and on the version of the name of this fabric was Weltenburg, which we decided to perform exactly from the reverse side. So here you see it from the front side on the cushion, and here from the reverse side. And this shading is the same shading that it's contained in the resin of our art glass. This is another color of this table.
The gray version.
Gray, natural, moving from the grays to the ivory, whites, non-whites, blacks, non-blacks. And with this shading, we move into our third theme, which is terra, earth. And from this shading, we move into the shading of our wonderful fabric, which is there, yes, which is Agung. It's a version of an already existing fabric, but we realized here in fireproof and in two colorways, one which is performing like the night and the other one which is performing the day. The night is on our Adar version and the day it's performed in our cushions here and in our mist chairs in these other shots. Here there's a Mr. Missoni artwork in the back and our terracotta lamp.
Play perfectly with
fits perfectly with this environment, so natural, so cozy, so fresh. And our terracotta, it's still very much us, and also the shades are iconic. And these iconic shades brings us to the new fabric, this very interesting texturized chevron where the non-black and non-white moves smoothly
in
from
primary
one
color,
color.
but again smooth and gentle.
And gentle, exactly. This fabric moves from the couch to the decorative cushion of the bed and to the throw, where we have this very nice, smooth moving iconic chevron. Dégradé, zigzag. The smoothness brings us to our spa, where we perform rex in the very natural colors, natural and gray, and where we can introduce you in this world of natural colors, cocooning, smooth, warm situations, where we would relax and breathe fresh air. Here we are in the second version of our bed linen collection, the natural one. It moves to the wall coverings and to the throw again. We see Grandma, the version we already saw together before, and our iconic carpet. Again, Grandma. The same fabric, which is now performed instead in a oil green, yellowy oil green shade, and the same chevron we saw in black, non-black and white, it's here in turquoise. The palette of this monochrome chevron and flame, it's recalled into a shading, moving chevron, which really it's smoothly, how can I say, laying on this wonderful version of top four. Fire. Small pieces of glass, because where are we with fire?
Passion.
We are performing the passion for life, the passion for our
And
job.
positivity.
And positivity.
Especially in this time.
Especially in these times, exactly. And here we just show you the three the group of the three table of art glass. So the three mood of colors, the one belonging to the water and air, the one belonging to the fire and earth, and the one belonging to neutrals. And here we start seeing something which is our icon that stands from the background. And we see also a very incredible surrounding. This is an incredible
Absolutely
place.
Amazing, yeah.
An amazing place.
Unique
which is
in the world.
Which is the best place to perform this situation, where we want to show constellation.
Our magic moment.
The magic moment, where all the signs have been Missonized. They perform all flames, and they have been inspired by this bibliothèque of glass slabs hanging in shapes like if they are actually chevrons or if they are small stripes. And they stand perfectly in the background. Here you have a very nice throw, which it's branded.
In cashmere.
We are not really fond in being branding, but this for us it's a very nice result. It's a charcoal, smooth, cozy, solid color throw, and it helps the whole colorful constellation collection, where you will see
all the signs all
together in this printed version of satin that are performed in this small couch, which name I always forget. Milady. When I say forget, I remember. And again in the paravent in the back. Here we show you some of the signs, because we've got 12 of them, as we used to have for the Oriental horoscope. We are having it in our normal ones. So here you see Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
But in a real Missoni way.
In a real Missoni way. It's a 3D embroidery done with original flamed Missoni yarns. Here you see this cover dressing up a new version of Miss Chair, wooden chair. Here you've got this wonderful achievement in this fabric, which is really looking like
a Venini glass.
A Venini glass. Instead, it's like a lace, a Missoni lace, done in a 3D jacquard. Very, very impressive realization. And here, you decided to perform the cushions inside this stuff, Paola. What are they? Crogioli.
Crogioli.
It's where they usually prepare the colors, they melt the colors with the glass. To let the glass color being done, and these are the leftover that remains inside those bowls.
Yes, absolutely,
and they become piece of art. We go back in our situation where you see on your right side a new couch. You might have seen, we didn't talk about it yet, but it's a new very modern realization of couch. And on your left hand side you instead see the new version of the Miss Table,
Miss Wood, Miss
Chairs and Miss Table in this very dark, stained, because you can always perceive the vein of the wood, but it's in a more solid color.
Matte.
And
Not-
matte, not shine, yes. It leaves you the touch and the feel of wood. The carpet, it's a performer here. It is a very nice Missoni iconic patch of our flamed tonal patterns. And you see here the runner of all the signs together, which is one of the table interprets and performers of this here. We have the same design that stays around all the signs as
Without the sign.
exactly
just
as a
a
shear,
kind of check, really.
very subtle
Very
check
subtle.
in the shear design. The same idea that we have in the library, it's now giving us this idea of small shading stripes, like these glass slabs, transparent. They move into the dishes like a paint and into the fabric of our poof diamante. Here, another display of the table, which shows the placemats. And here there's a very nice situation where you see on the floor a new colorway of this beautiful new carpet, woolen carpet, and this fantastic camouflage shading tones of ripples that moves from the turquoise to
grandma.
oils to fuchsias on our grandma chair and
table.
and poof, like you can see here. The shading colors contained here are then moving out from the ripples and going into this very interesting realization of 3D tonal chevron into colorways, one belonging to the air and water, and the other one belonging to earth and sand. We go to gold as embracing background for us and for our solid new colorway blue of this jacquard solid color towels. The flame moves in our tectonic version of multicolor flame, and here you can really see how every single color vibrates, and it's not a solid one. It's looking like if it's tons of different tones of each color moving.
You can see the day version of the sign.
Yeah, exactly. And here
The
you can
light
see
one.
constellation in this light version with the light background, and also the wall covering matching. Here it's a close-up of the signs into the lighter version background, and where they stand on our already known flame bed cover. Here we move from inside to outside again with our bean bags virgola and the patched, very nice patch version of the cushion. And with this, we thank you and we say to you good luck. But Paola, we have a surprise.
Yes.
For you, a special good luck capsule.
A little capsule with a beautiful iconic sign, very Italian.
Very Italian,
Very
because maybe some of them are known as good luck signs, but for example, one of them we know being southern Italy, Naples mainly, il cornetto. So, but anyway, these are very nice for signs for this good luck small capsule, with which we are wishing you good luck for the new season. Good luck. We move to the first board, Garden Light. Garden Light, it's a theme which is moving from indoor to outdoor. colors are fresh, as we were describing during the film. It's watercolors. They melt, they move, and you see them. We reperformed Ribera and Recife because we thought that they were performing the same idea of watercolors. But the new design of the new flower, which is not exactly a flower, is the ramage. It's this very nice, huge group of leaves, which are very transparent and fresh. They move from the curtain to the outdoor printed fabric, and they are the, if you want, the smooth, fairy part of the story, while then we move into iconics. The iconics of the collection are this very interesting jacquard, which we saw on Intil, on several group of cushions, and on on Granma armchair. It's a very fresh and texturized jacquard. It moves with different weave from stripe to tiny chevrons. It's very interesting. And it gives you the smoothness of the moving colors. Same things that we see happening in this re-edited flame, where the jacquards melts the colors from the darker shades to the lighter shades into their horizontal movement. The same idea of the jacquard re-edited fabric. We have the printed outdoor version, which is very nice. It has a tiny, tiny micro stripe in the background, which moves the fabric, making it look like a canette background. And the same idea of stripe blows big into this very interesting texturized macro drill stripe, where, as we were saying during the film with Paola, Rosita has decided in these recent seasons that black and white are actually too harsh together in these times. We need to get smoother. So as you can see, even here, the black is not black. It gets a tint of blue, like a sea blue, deep blue. And the white gets the color of an eggshell. So it's really actually not really white. And you can see this idea of natural that really belongs to the stones. So this really looks like travertine or like concrete. And this instead looks like ardesia, wood, ardesia stone. We decided to keep inside the collection again this beautiful yarn-dyed big shade, which is Tonga, in this red colorway. And we performed this very nice, iconic embroidered curtain. One interesting new pattern which we performed in two colorways, it's this tiny, tiny chevron where a solid neutral color stands in the background and just small hints like a flamed yarn come in to make it move and become more interesting. And we saw this on the new interesting sofa, modular sofa, which is called Mr. Sofa. It's a very beautiful possibility to perform huge dimension of surfaces and then being able to accessorize with more important patterns. We move to the next board. The next board, it's a very interesting story. It's called Night Flower. I need the whisperer. I always forget. Night Flower. It's a story that tells about non-colors, about vibrations of colors. So the floral is a chine. The stripes are moving chine stripes done with a jacquard moving, which is very, very interesting. It's a viscose jacquard velvet. It's our Weltenburg version of fabric, which we performed both sides, but where the moving shades of color is more in the reverse side, which we absolutely suggest because it gets this unpredictable result, which is very interesting for us. We added again in this idea of black, whites, and naturals one of the last year fabric which we believe are very interesting and very important, so we are reperforming it again. This chine flower that you see underneath here, it's realized in two versions. One where only the printed part is the flower, and the second where you've got the two sides which have been printed, which means that we have the front and the reverse. It could be used for curtaining, it could be used for partitions. It's a very interesting approach to have a two-sided printed. It's also a very interesting new technique. Here, the world, it's a world of non-black, non-whites that mix together with these chine colors, as we were saying during the presentation of the catalog pictures. And here you see this flamed effect in jacquard of non-black and non-whites, together with this shading chine, shaggy, fil coupé, geometrical signs. And again, the black and whites comes back into this very uneven, though iconic small pattern, into this 3D chevron, very interesting. Both of them are flame retardant. Into these checks, Rosita loves always the idea of checks. So whenever we've got flowers, we've got stripes, we've got iconic chevrons, the check is something that she likes very well to have. And we suggest the use of this check both ways, front and back. Here we have the version of the small tiny chevron that we saw in the previous story into the light version. We see it in the dark version. And we see the idea of this chevron which moves in this version of jacquard fabric, which is double face, very interesting because you can use it both sides, and during the explanation of the picture you have seen it. You can see from the white and black side and from the non-black, non-white side. In the accessory group, you will see this Chanel mooded kind of very intricate weave. It is hand woven, done with different yarns. And this is, if you want, the cherry on top of the cake of this collection. We again have the sheer, the iconic embroidered sheer, which gives us the top decorative part into the sheer group of the collection. From this collection, we move to the iconic FR. So this is a collection of flame retardant fabric where we decided to bring icons. And in the icons you will see this pattern which you already saw last year. But this year we realized it into a version which is flame retardant. And we choose to decide to have day and night. So as it's a very interesting surface, it has movements, and it's done with different kind of yarn. You've got chenille inside, but you've got reflective yarns inside that makes it look like a stone. It looks like ardesia, and this one looks like travertine. So the idea was to make something that was looking very natural. You have the iconic chevron, which is really very interesting because it's a surface that looks like cotton linen, and instead it's a flame retardant. You've got it in 3 colorways: white on neutral, neutral on black, neutral on turquoise. The same colors that you will then see, and you have seen downstairs, were performed on the couch with this macro chevron, which is very interesting, where the rhythm of neutral light and neutral dark shades into the moving colors group. The black and white version we just saw in the previous board, that we can now see, and which we can see also underneath here, as is version lighter, with this kind of pistache oil, very fresh though chic light version of the same. We have already seen the 2 tiny iconics, which we really find very interesting because they have a very compact, dense weave. The definition of the design is very interesting, which is exactly the opposite, materially talking, of those different ones, which instead has a very rustic, though durable, even if this is the touch, when you see the moving of color is really smooth, and it gives you a very soft final result, as you could have seen on top 4 representation. This you have seen on Adar, and this you have seen on our Miss Chair in this wooden frame room, where we have this wooden huge table and library. The last but not least theme of this season is constellation. I think we have in this story 2, 3, 4 of the best results in terms of weave and pattern, which are, of course, the printed flame, which I really love because we've been performing other flames in the other collections. But this time we chose a fabric which, though being outdoor, it looks really like cotton linen. So it has a very natural approach. And the dyeing and the movement of the solid color that stands on this very off-white, like eggshell white, moves. So you've got like 5, 6 different shades of every color. And the result, it's really looking very, they look like straws. They look like pieces of wheat, like wheat sticks that just layered move the colors at a time. You see the 2 best results in jacquards, which are this Venini glass knitted lace Missoni icon, where we have this very bold, strong, contrasted group of colors that has this translucency that belongs to the glass. So that is why we performed it there, where the glass is melting, because exactly what you could see here on this stripe, that really looks like layers of glass, one after the other one, saw by the sides, and here, and also here, where you would imagine ripples of glass melting, moving from one color to the other one, and where the single color on its own can then be moving on a 3D weave, a very interesting optical chevron, which moves tone in two shades, earthen and water, into this two iconic shading huge chevron. Safi is back, and we are performing it in 3 different colorways to just complete the picture. And then we have the printed all over version of the story constellation, which have been printed on a sateen for the black night version, and printed on a sateen reverse, which looks a little bit like a, how can I say, broken surface for the light day version. We will see after some of the cushions. I will show them when we see the pieces. I will show them one by one. And again, as you could see in the pictures, this is the sheer of the story, where you have this idea of moving color like straw, even in the stripes, which is giving softness to all the group of color together for this curtain result. And this is all for the furnishing fabric collection. We move to the bed linen. As you can see, we developed the collection of bed linen this year with a very strong iconic printed on a percale in 2 colorways, one which is performing the more dusty masculine palette group, and one which is instead performing a kind of multicolor red based idea, but with very subtle shades this time. The chevron icon, it's integrated by another icon, which we decided to do this year following the idea of the flamed story that you saw in the furnishing part. So we did these neutrals, which helps you to give an alternative to Joe. We've been always performing Joe as a solid. And this time we give you this very nice idea, which is performed in the bed linen in 4 colorways, 3 that can stand together with the blue tones, and 3 that can stand with the multicolor one. Nearly you could use the 4 of them, because even the green can be implemented here. You see the same ramage we've been seeing in the sheers and in the outdoor fabric. Here in the bed linen, it's printed on a very nice linen gauze, and it's printed in this placed version from very full to completely empty to white, or in an all over one where you might have your pillowcases and the reverse of the duvet. The palette that you see here and the same idea of flamed pattern, it's implemented and developed in this new version of solid color for terry, which is an alternative to Rex. Here you have Rex in a new colorway, but we have this new article, which is quite interesting technically, because we realized it. The velvet part, it's done with a flamed yarn. It's a dyed yarn itself with a moving effect flamed. And the boucle part, so the lower part, instead is in solid color. How does it happen? It's a neutral color with flame, which is over-dyed. So you will have a version in light blue, a version in this sage green, and a version in a neutral color where the perception of the moving yarn is more visible, and a coral one. The pattern of this year are quite interesting. We've got this very nice rhythm in the shades and in the alternate white and black, non-white, non-black part, which are then becoming tiny, tiny for the reverse side. As you know, we always like to play the game of folding our terries one side or the other one. And this is exactly what you can do here. And the same idea of stripe, just shrinked in a smaller scale, it's becoming a chevron stripe or a striped chevron. It's the same idea. So it's a stripe which is moving into a chevron, and the chevron is then blown big and become another terry where the non-black and non-white are rhythming the moving of those earthen and natural, very dusty, chic group of color. Another design which is very interesting is this striped background blocks, which are superposed by this vertical 3D effect chevron, where you have some part which are shaved differently so that it gives a very interesting 3D effect. This is as of the blue-green masculine version, and this is instead the version where we have the same blue and greens, just in different, slightly different tonal shades. But here we've got the coming in of the oranges and the corals, which are, and sometimes hints of turquoise, which are making the colors more vibrant, more strong, and more colorful, more multicolored. You might see a very interesting interpretation also of Rufus. We saw the very good performance of that item. We therefore decided to give you a new version of the red colorway in Rufus to let you have the opportunity to marry this very nice multicolor version. Moving from the terry to the terry towels, beach towels, we move into the stripes that blow bigger, the same stripe that we performed in a terry here and here are in velvet blown big for the beach towels in the red color version, which is quite nice. And in this very chic masculine sand and watery color. We've got the iconics, always taking the same spirit from the tiny velvet of the terry towel. The beach towel is just the same sign blown big. And the same one with these very chic color shades, where all the colors are with tone but very subtle, and it's very, very colorful, though chic one. We have new interpretation of the very light version of beach towel. This is a linen printed with the icon. It has two different borders, solid borders, on one of which there is the branding side. It's a very light, though interesting interpretation. And we also have an idea of making something which can be a gift, so a wrapping to allow you to give this couple of items of this weight as a gift. So, and this is the second beach towel light with this ramage, with the group of borders, solid group of borders that enhance the nice ramage group of leaves. The third one in the light version of beach towel, it's a linen one, and it's in the story of the light garden, and it's performing this same shade of flames in the multicolor version that contains exactly the same colors of the ramage. We move from the beach towels to the throws, and we can just go through the same iconic pattern that we had in the bed linen. So we move from the printed percale to the printed muslin of woolen muslin. And it's a very nice light, very chic light version. It's subtle, crispy, interesting. And we've got the same stripe of the terry, which is in this version of throw beach, light throw beach towels, whatever you might want it to be, multi-purpose. The same in the other colorway. For the iconic chevron and for the stripe, where the colors become a little bit more tonic than in the terry, because we are talking about something which has another purpose. We move into the real throw, and we have two new interpretations of Margot. One that contains the shades of coral, sage green, rust, orange, and that hint of lilac, and one which contains the tone of brown, sands, turquoise, and light blues. The throws that I'm going to present now belongs to the mood of the living and furnishing fabric collection. So, as you could remember, we had the first part where the flame was performed, and this is exactly the same design that we just magnified, and we blow big, and also blew big the textures so that it's becoming incredibly material. It has this very interesting movement, and it really looks like if it's been hand knitted or hand woven. It's cozy, though rich, interesting, in the weave and in the materials itself. We have in the story of the Chine flowers and the Chine effect, this idea of Chine that comes and it's rhythmed by this non-black, non-white that moves the color throughout all the blanket, all the throw. And you can also have the version of 3 of those colors belonging to the stripe as a moving, solid idea. It's a fresh, young approach in the sense of having a solid which is actually not really a solid, but it's quite interesting. Therefore, you can see that some of the colors you are having in the stripe are actually belonging to the solid colors too. To the same story, we saw that wonderful fabric with that gypsy spirit. And the same gypsy spirit, it's perfectly manifested in this wonderful result of macro flame effect of gray and smooth cream, buttery cream, and this very untidy, crazy, gypsy, spirited, geometrical, cut out pieces. In the same story, we had the need to have something more soft, in the sense that here we really play with 2 tones of gray, light gray and dark gray, charcoal. It's a very soft and chic, iconic that comes in one colorway. The idea of the Chanel fabric hand woven, it's here performed into this very nice non-black, non-white, though multicolor effect. It's soft, subtle, but interesting in the hand feel, and also in the technical weaving effects. Going to the last part of the collection, we add into that story. No, we still have one which belongs to another story, which is this one. It's a very interesting one. It has a wonderful hand feel, and it's a shading chevron that from tiny, very close together, becomes opening up and changing color. So it also changes the colors throughout all the movement of the throws itself. The same pattern we saw on the wonderful kaleidoscopic carpet. It's now here on the throw. It's a little more subtle here because it's a jacquard. It's an incredible result. It has more dense hand feel because it's the technique. It's the only way we could possibly achieve this, but it's quite interesting. It's young and fresh. We have a new colorway for Yoda, the iconic rust, which we felt we were missing. So you've got a new solid one that adds on to the old colorways you already had. And we had the last 2 throws, which are this dark charcoal melange with all the flamed yarn that compose our branding. And we've got cushions and rouleau matching the story. And we can finish with this printed crepe, wool crepe with all the Occidental horoscope signs, constellation, the name is. So, and we can finish with this good luck capsule, where we are performing embroideries with these 4 signs that in Italy means all of them good luck. They are performing 4 different colors. And with this, I wish you good luck with this new collection. And I thank you.